He's a gold medal winner at the World Juniors, a former assistant coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and now the head coach of the Drummondville Voltigeurs. Great to welcome Martin Raymond on Read Between the Lines this week on My Face Off. Great to see you, Marty. Thanks for taking the time.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You've worked with quite a few junior players. First and foremost, what do you look for the most, a skill set in particular that really sets them apart from the rest, and for you is a quick indication that these guys are going to go big time into the NHL?
I think right now, with the type of hockey that's played now in today's game, we're looking at speed. You know, like how fast can you skate, how fast can you move that puck, and how fast can you think. I think speed. I think speed's important in our society right now with the internet and everything else, and it's the same for the hockey game. The game of hockey is a fast game, and more so now than ever. The athletes are so well trained now. They're coming to us from midget hockey, and they already have personal trainers in the summer. They're already powerlifting and doing speed work. So that's where the game is going, and that's what we look for the most in players that we scout.
Connor McDavid, his name has come up. We had a chance to see him at the World Juniors. He's quite a special player. Do you believe that Connor has the potential, the skill set, the tools to not only be a great player, but be the best player in the National Hockey League one day?
Well, there's no doubt that Connor's a great player, and he's also a very good person. So, I mean, he's got a very nice package that we look for in players. Now, is he going to be the best in the world one day? Well, nobody knows that, but certainly I hope he does. And he certainly has the tools and has the background. I think that he can definitely be one of the best in the game for sure.
Was there anything in particular that surprised him or surprised you of what he was able to do on the ice?
No, I had heard a lot about him. I didn't know a whole lot in terms of seeing him play. I hadn't seen him play a lot, but certainly he's as fast as it gets in terms of skating speed. And the one thing that I really like with him is a very unselfish player. And that really helped us as a team, is to have, one of our premier players on our team be as unselfish with the puck as he was. And I think that goes a long way into helping, your team excel.
Another premium player is one that's really highly regarded by his peers, and that's Steven Stamkos. You've seen him in action, been able to be close to the action with him as well. For you, how special of a player is Steven Stamkos, especially when you take a look at how hard it is to break the 50-goal plateau in the National Hockey League? Seems to be just a next-generation sniper in the National Hockey League. What surprised you the most of him, and how good of a player is he in your books?
Well, we all know Steve can shoot the puck, and that's always very impressive in practice to see him, do the things that he does. But the big thing with Steven is that he is so driven, and you can see it in his eyes, you can see it in his face when he's coming down the wing in practice. In just a regular flow drill, a shooting drill, warm-up drill. I mean, when he's coming down the ice and he's crossing that blue line, he's really focused on scoring a goal. So he's not sloppy at any time when he gets close to the net. He's looking to put it in. He's looking for the rebound. And a lot of things that we forget with Steven is that we did one year, we looked, the first year we were in Tampa, we looked at his goals that he scored, because I think he scored something like 43 or 45, I'm not sure, the first year we were there. And we wanted to, he went into a slump. And so we looked at all his goals. He didn't score that many goals on his one-timer. And if you do the exercise with his 60-goal season, you'll see that he'll have maybe 10 goals on his one-time shot. But the rest are tip-ins, rebounds, driving the net, getting whacked in front of the crease, and basically paying the price to make sure that he gets that puck, that loose puck, that rebound, that short play around the net into the goal. So that was the big thing when we looked at his goals in Tampa. We realized that he's not just a shooter. He'll take it to the net, and he'll definitely do what he has to do to score a goal. That's why he's so good.
Real quickly, before we let you go, I know you're a former assistant coach. You're also now a head coach. I was curious to see what you thought about Steve Yzerman or players like Steve Yzerman who are ex-players who hold executive jobs. How is it for you to work with an ex-player? Would you rather work with someone who's a little bit more of a seasoned veteran or somebody like Steve Yzerman who brings that on-ice approach and experience?
Yeah, I think I didn't mind working with Steve at all. On the contrary, he was a great person and really enjoyed his leadership. Now, with that being said, in terms of your question about whether the management or manager should be a former player or not, to me it doesn't really matter that much. If you've got the experience of the game, whether it is as a player, whether it is as a coach, whether it is as a general manager, having worked in management, the bottom line is you have to do your work. You have to do your homework, and that's taking experience and do your hours. It doesn't change. So, like to have former players of the game come in management position or even coaching position for that matter. I mean, you look at guys like Patrick Roy. I mean, he's played the game for a long time, but he did his homework by coaching many years in junior, and he even coached before that his kids in minor hockey when he was a player. So he did his homework to make sure that he was prepared, that he learned the ropes in his new title, his new position, his new responsibilities. So for me, it doesn't matter whether you've played the game or you just coached the game or you've managed the game, is how much experience have you gained, how much work have you put into your new role to make sure that you're well prepared. And I think that Steve had done his homework in Detroit, and I think that's part of the reason why he's having good success in Tampa.
Before we let you go, we're going to have some fun with you in our quick segment that we call the Rapid Fire segment. I'm going to throw some questions out there. You give me the first thing that comes to mind. You ready to go?
I am.
All right. Weirdest pre-game ritual you've ever seen a player do?
Hubert Morin was a goalie for us at McGill. I was there a long time, and Hubert was very intense. He wasn't a big goalie. He had to mentally really fire himself up because he relied on his reflexes a lot, and he would put a towel over his head, sit in the hallway, and basically just say some words. We mumble some things. We never really knew what he was mumbling. So that was totally different, but it worked for him, and wind up winning a national championship a couple of years after I left as a veteran goalie in the CIS. He won a national championship as the #1 goalie for McGill, so it worked for him.
Yes or no, is Montreal the greatest city to win a cup in?
I would think so, yes.
Is Montreal the worst place to coach in if you're not winning?
I wouldn't know all these things because I haven't coached in Montreal per se, but I would think probably, yes, they're probably one of the worst places if you're losing, and probably one of the best when you're winning.
And most successful player that you didn't think would make the NHL, who did and made quite the impact?
That's a tough one because I've only been coaching junior for 2 years.
Anybody stand out that maybe caught your attention that you said, you know what?
I'll have to say with my experience of coaching guys, I mean, Matthew Darche played for me at McGill for 4 years. I don't think anybody thought after scoring 1 goal in his first year of CIS hockey that he would turn out to be a bona fide third, fourth line player for the Montreal Canadiens and have the career he had in the NHL. When you look at his first year at McGill, but he turned out his second year scoring, I think, 25 goals in 30 games after scoring just 1 in 15 previous years. So I would have to say Matthew Darche, probably the guy that I had an opportunity to coach that felt didn't really think he was going to turn into an NHL player, and he certainly did.
We'll have Matthew Darche on to see what he has to say about that. Thanks for taking the time, Marte Raymond. Great talking to you. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Adam. All the best.
Stay with us. My rant is up next. You don't want to miss it.
Read Between the Lines is brought to you by LavalCosm.com. It's ball hockey time.